Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. We are on number 20, which is materialization for the Auric programming journey. And so materialization has to do with, bringing something from the ethers and physicalizing it. But the thing from the ethers is really, if we boil it down, is light. Even when we have ideas or projects that we're doing, we're still trying to bring it down and physicalize it so it's in motion. And so this idea of materialization is also tied to the intuitive process. When we think of things from the point of view of intellect, we think of it as a thing. We really don't make a lot of effort with it because it's a thing. It's not something to be engaged. It's something that we accumulate, even if it's just an idea of our goal, and then we don't usually act on it, right? So if you look at the idea of, say, procrastination or the inability to achieve a goal, a lot of times that has to do with excessive amounts of intellect. You know, you've accumulated this idea, you've defined this idea, but that inability to take action and bring it into fruition is tied to the intuitive process. So a lot of times we lack the intuitive process to bring things into form. So it could be healing, it could be a goal, it could be a relationship, it could be all kinds of things. It's just about engaging a process, materializing the light, which is the fuel or gasoline for things to begin to manifest and to materialize. And so there's usually three components that we would discuss. First would be, putting something forth, bringing something into form. And then the second part being the inertia or the movement towards the goal. And in this particular area, this is where we can get pulled off track, get distracted either through our own difficulties, our own past and conditioning, but also be susceptible from external influences, other people distracting us and pulling us off track. Okay? When we bring something into the form right off the bat, it is usually something that is beyond the senses. We go deep into the intuitive mind, we come up with this idea or concept, or we start to put something forth, and then we start to generate that motion and movement, which is what we'd call inertia. And then eventually, as that movement keeps going down the road to bringing it into form, there's a form of integration that this light or this idea, this information that's beyond the senses gets integrated into the intellectual mind, right? And in the intellectual mind, we maintain it, it repeats, it comes into form. Right? So this is that journey of bringing something from the ethers or outside the senses, generating the momentum, and then eventually bringing it into form and integrating it into the intellectual mind. Okay. So with that, we use the blend materialization. So you're going to pull out your blend materialization and begin inhaling on the left side of your body, the whole left side, the left side of your face and neck, your left shoulder, ribs, your left hip, all the way down to the left outer leg. Taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. We're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths, but now we're moving to the front side of the body. The face and throat, the chest, the abdomen, the front of the pelvis, down the fronts of the legs to the tops of your feet. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. You're still on the front part of your body. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. The right side of your body, the whole right side of your face and neck, your right shoulder, ribs, your right hip, down the outer leg to the right outer ankle. You're still on the right side of your body. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then the back side of the body, the whole back side, the back of the head and neck, your whole back, your hips, down the backs of your legs to your heels. And then just pause and be still. Just pause and be still. So that is the standard approach. Again, you can use this on a daily basis. You can integrate this with other processes that you might be doing already, or you could use it for an Auric stack. Now we're going to go to the advanced approach, which is something you might only do once or twice a week, just because it takes a little bit for it to integrate in your body to shift. And, once or twice a week is plenty. But in between, you could also be doing the standard approach. So with that, again, you're starting on the left-hand side of your body, left side of your face, neck, your left shoulder, hips, down the outer leg to the left outer ankle. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. You're still taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Now you're going to the back side of the body, the whole back side, the back of the head and neck, your whole back, your hips, down the backs of your legs to your heels. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. You're on the back side of the body, from the back of the head to the heels. your right side of your body, right side of your face and neck, your right shoulder, right ribs and hip, down the outer leg to the right outer ankle. And then the front side of your body, your face, throat, chest, abdomen, down the fronts of your pelvis, all the way down to the tops of your feet. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then pause and be still. You're just being still. Now you're inhaling, your awareness is on your knees. It can be your whole knees, or it can just be behind your knee, where the crease is, the backside of your knee. So either way, either your whole knee or the back of the knee. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. You're on the knees. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Move to your ankles. Your awareness is on your ankles. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the ankles. And then the soles of your feet. Your awareness is on the soles of your feet. And then just pause and let go. Left side of the body. Your whole left side of your face and neck, your left shoulder and ribs, your left hip, down the outer leg to the left outer ankle. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. The front side of the body, the whole front side, the face and throat, the chest, the abdomen, down the fronts of the legs to the tops of your feet, the whole front side. Your awareness is on the right side of the body. And then the back side of the body, the whole back side of your head and neck, your whole back, your hips, down the backs of your legs to your heels. Whole back side of your body, the back of the head, all the way down to your heels. So back of your head and neck, your whole back, your hips, down the backs of your legs to your heels. And then just pause and be still. And then just pause and be still. You're just being still. Now, the last little piece, your awareness is on your brain. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on your brain. Awareness is still on the brain. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on the spine. Your awareness is on the spine. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on the brain and spine, both at the same time. The brain and spine, both at the same time. Now you're moving your awareness to the brain and soles of your feet, both at the same time. As you inhale, you move your awareness up above the ankle. As you exhale, move your awareness down into the earth. Pause and let go. Notice your body, your emotions. Notice your thoughts. Think of a project or an area of healing that you'd like to address and just observe it and just see what you notice. Do you? Okay, let's go ahead and share experiences, ask questions. You can unmute yourself, type in. For this first few minutes, we're just going to do Auric programming, shares, and questions. And then after a few minutes, we'll jump into our normal Q&A. So get ready with your normal Q&A questions, but just for a minute or two, we'll do shares for the Auric programming journey. So go ahead and fire away.
Yeah, go ahead, Linda.
Hey, Linda.
Hey, hi everybody. Um, Interesting experience with this one. So when I started, I just been having a busy day, a busy week, and I was fidgety when we first began. And we did the first, the first part, the standard approach, and I was still kind of fidgety. And then when we started with the standard approach and we went the other direction, it was like suddenly there was like this shift, and I was like, oh, now I'm okay, I'm here, I'm centered, I'm calm. And it was just really like very still. But then when we finished that part, before we started the brain spine thing, suddenly I was like, okay, I have to get up and move a little bit. I have to get up and move, get up and move. So before we did the brain spine thing, I had to get up and like shake a little bit and just move the body. But then we came back and we did the brain spine, and I was able to sort of, settle back down again. But it was very interesting because I usually, when we do the work programming, I have the experience that I calm down and then I stay relaxed thing. But this one was different.
It's kind of interesting, like I don't know. I really like thinking about this process because it is a little bit different, and like I think that's reflective in the things that you're talking about because that first part, that action aspect of bringing something into materialization is like a creative process. We're not just reflecting on it, we're going outside the senses. You're breaking out of the box to bring something in. If repetition was already producing something, you wouldn't go, hey, I need to materialize this because, you know, intellect is already taking care of that. And so, you're going outside the senses, you're going beyond your normal way of thinking, you're going outside the normal repetition. And right there is the creative flow. And then you bring it into the inertia where you're trying to keep that creative flow in motion as you keep moving towards the goal or whatever it is. And then at some point, it gets integrated into the intellect. And then the intellect goes, oh, I get this idea. Let's repeat this. Let's maintain this. Let's make this a thing. Let's keep repeating it until it comes into form. And it does put like a little pep in your step, or like, it makes you like, I'll be doing like even healings on stuff like this. And in the middle of it, I'll go, I gotta go do, and I'll go rearrange my travel bag and put it in little cubes and everything. And then I'm like, okay, now back to what I was doing. Like it gets these like creative juices flowing where it's usually not just about your project. It just, because that creative flow is innovation, problem solving, like learning, especially learning something new. It's bringing something in and putting it in motion. And on some levels it might be a kind of healing, but a lot of times it's like an innovating, creating, problem solving kind of aspect that you're bringing in. And it does kind of stimulate this, like, let's go take care of business. Like, and I find it's almost like fun. Granted, if you're dealing with some horrible thing you got to deal with, it might not be fun, but it's that part of the brain that like overcoming obstacles almost plays like it feels like you're playing rather than "Ugh, obstacle. I gotta deal with this obstacle." Or at least that's my inner voice. Ugh, I gotta deal with this. Oh, it's gonna be so hard and so difficult. It's almost like, okay, how are we gonna do this?
Mm.
You know?
I mean, I definitely wouldn't describe what I was feeling as any kind of agitation. It was just that let's just get up and move
Yeah,
around.
let's just take care
Yeah,
of business.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, yeah, very interesting experience. Thank you.
So the other thing that I would say that I notice about this aspect is because I use the term problem solving, but that's like a really like general thing to say. But how like you have like a bunch of things that you need to do. Like, you might like I have the things I got to do today. There's things I got to do this week, and then there's those things that I'd like to do. They need to be done. They're not time sensitive. They're a little bit of a pain in my butt because they're not done. I find the action, I mean, how to say this? The problem solving becomes like how to schedule it and how to put effort into it. A lot of times, in the same amount of time, I get more done because I'm like very organized in my efforts and my thoughts about how to do something. You know how like you might be doing something, you're like, well, I'm already here. I could just finish this other little piece. And then bam, you're like back on track.
Mhm.
Um, I find that whenever I work the materialization process and whenever I work Jupiter, like some aspects of Jupiter, that's always what happens is I get really good at the problem solving becomes like a kind of order of like how I'm going to do things and put out effort. And in the same amount of time, I generate a lot more. I don't know. I generate like more effects, or I finalize things to a much greater degree. Like I get them done, like without really thinking about
Hmm.
it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I really like working the materialization process, to be honest.
Mm.
I mean, all the different pieces, like it's like, what's my favorite oil, the one in my hand. And, there's a lot of different processes, but I'll kind of forget about doing the materialization work. And like the last, I don't know, week or so, I've been doing it. And man, the creative juices just get flowing.
Mm.
They just get flowing.
Mhm. Cool. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're so welcome. Let you keep me posted on how that goes.
I will. I'm working on some art for a submission that's due August 15th, so I'll let you know how it goes.
Cool. There you go.
Okay. And go ahead, Teresa.
Hey, Teresa.
Hi. I had similar but dissimilar experience. I focused on an area I wanted healing and a lot of negative emotions came out and I'm like, I don't want to materialize this, but the intent was the healing. So I don't know if that was just the release.
A lot of times it's a kind of displacement, because the thing is like even if you think of something very negative, um, you're materializing a light in that situation.
Got it.
And so, whatever that is, that means it's starting to move towards
Okay.
healing, processing, integration,
Mhm.
whatever it is. And so, like if it kind of stirred up emotions, I would say that it's either something being displaced or something being processed so that you can just go, okay, I'm done with this.
Good.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just had before this a cranio session where it was starting to come out of the body.
Hmm.
So this just kind of carried it on. And at the end, so thank you for that because sometimes, when that comes up, you're like, similar to what Linda said, I don't want to materialize that.
Right. Sure,
And
sure,
then I'm
sure.
like, wait a minute, just trust the process. And as I got to the end, I could feel my heart just softening with more compassion for self.
Oh, good.
So thank you for the extra validation um, and for the process tonight.
Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed.
And then we do have a question in chat, and if you would like to go ahead and raise your hand for the regular Q&A at this time, you can do that. Could you go over again what a stack is? I feel like I needed to do this. Sorry, I feel like I need to do this, especially with the last 3 weeks, but I don't really grasp how to do it.
So a stack is when you're dealing with the aura, we're working with the energetic mold or blueprint, right? So in this energetic mold or blueprint is the effects of the elements or the elementals, right? So that's energies that we've attracted. There's energy of thought. There's also the effects of the collective conscious and unconscious that is in this auric like blueprint that our physical body, emotional body, mental body follows, right? Some of it's us, some of it's the environment, some of it is past actions, and some of it is just our blueprint from when we come in an incarnation, right? So if we make a shift in the body, sometimes it might improve, but if the blueprint, which is the aura, if the blueprint has different like information, like say, okay, your knee is going to degenerate, and you go through and you do work on your knee and it feels better, and then it's like, a week goes by and it's degenerating again. It's part of it is in the blueprint, it's in the aura, it eventually physicalizes into the body. So we still want to be able to treat the body, but we want to unwind the things in the aura so that there's a greater potential of healing, shifting, evolving. So if it's something physical, if it's something emotional, if it's something mental, or even something spiritual, right? We want to be able to have the blueprint for it to come in and physicalize in the body, in the emotions, and in the mind. And so the idea of an auric stack is to work maybe different aspects of the aura. It could be about something specific, like a specific health issue or, a specific situation, or it could just be different things going on in your life. Like, okay, I have sleep issues. I have a little bit of hard time getting some things done. So like the materialization process that we just did, and you work the sleep aspect, and then you might address like the nervous system, and then you might address, something like the limbic system or emotional responses, right? And so you would do that first standard approach, but you might use three, four, or even five different aspects of the aura that you're working to either produce a result in a particular area or a kind of result for just you where you're at. You're like, okay, I got this going on. I'm a little stressed. I'm having a hard time sleeping. I got this project that I got going on, and I'm having a hard time communicating it to the people that I work with. So you would use like communication support, For the stress, you would use limbic system. Sleep, you would use the aspect for sleep. Um, and then you would use materialization. And so that could be kind of a little personalized treatment that you do specifically for what is going on in your life at that particular time.
So specifically, how do we do the stack? Holding all oils open in my hand?
No, you would do each one at a time, right? So you would do the standard approach, which is left side, then front side, then right side, and back side. It's how we started the session tonight, right? We did the standard approach, and then we went to the advanced approach. So you would do one of the programs, you do it to completion, left, front, right, back. Then you would grab the next one, and then you'd go left, front, right, back. Then you'd grab the third one, and then you'd go left, front, right, back. Still going, anywhere from like 3 to 15 breathing cycles through each piece. And then you grab the fourth one and you do it like that. And so it can be done at the beginning of the day or the end of the day. But it's something that I would say, I would try to probably do it daily or at least 4 or 5 times a week. Yeah.
Thank you. And then that will conclude this week's Auric programming. And join us next week. We have memory, and I think Robert probably posted exactly what it's called for next week. Yeah, memory.